I'm a medical doctor, and in my opinion, there's no medical treatment which has suffered from its own success as much as vaccines. In the Western world, most people have never seen the horrors associated with so many infectious childhood diseases, and vaccines have played a large part in that. But the result is we become complacent about the need for preventing these illnesses. In the book, How Vaccines Work by immunologist Dr. David Miles, he celebrates the many successes in the history of vaccine development and reminds us why vaccines are so necessary in the first place. I rarely talk about my day job on social media because my comment section often gets flooded with potentially dangerous health misinformation, and it gives me a headache trying to deal with it all. I'd like to give a shout out to Dr. Amy, who does a fantastic job educating people on TikTok and is infinitely more patient than I am. But I want to draw attention to this book because its message is timely and important. Vaccine preventable diseases are on the rise, and it's worth fighting back against vaccine hesitancy if it means preventing the needless suffering of children. When I was at medical school, we were taught about diseases like measles and polio almost like historical curiosities because vaccines had virtually eradicated them. But a couple of years ago, I came face to face with a case of subacute sclerosing panencephalitis in a child, a terrifying and potentially fatal complication of measles causing cascading inflammation of the brain. It was a stark wake up call for me, where I realized that these diseases haven't been consigned to history. David Miles is a passionate researcher with decades of experience. He knows vaccine therapies inside and out. This book takes us through the history of vaccines and their development in rich detail. As of 2026, the NHS recommends vaccinating against 16 diseases as part of the NHS childhood vaccination schedule. He explains in plain English how these vaccines actually work, with the exception of the chickenpox vaccine, which was only included this year after the book's publication. As an aside, I wish I'd got this, as I myself got chickenpox as an adult aged 19 and it sucked. He also talks about the symptoms of the diseases and the suffering they caused, from the suffocating diphtheria bacteria, which was called the strangling angel, to the contorting tetanus, also called lockjaw. It's a powerful reminder of the net positive impact of vaccines that most of us have never experienced these diseases, even indirectly. He also tackles the many myths around vaccines that fuel vaccine hesitancy, like whether the MMR vaccine causes autism. The answer is no, by the way. I thoroughly recommend this book. If you are a parent in the UK with questions about your child's vaccines, I would always encourage you to speak to your child's doctor or healthcare professionals and refer to official NHS advice for up-to-date information. But if you want to learn more about how these vaccines work and why they're so important, this book is a brilliant resource.